Okay, so now we're going to use another free service. This time it's web-based and it can be accessed at the site called Twiangulate. Now that URL is currently on screen, and as you can see it is spelt Twiangulate. When you first go to Twiangulate, before you start using it, what you'll need to do first is come up to the part where it says sign in with Twitter. That will then bring up this window. If you want to join the Twiangulate mailing list, then you can put your email in there if you wish. You don't have to. You can use the service without giving your email address. So we just click the sign in with Twitter button here. And that will ask us to authorize the Twiangulate service with our Twitter account. That can easily be done by clicking Authorize App. We'll then be redirected back to the Twiangulate service. Before you begin to use the Twiangulate service, please make sure that you have actually completed that step and are signed in with your Twitter account. I've gone and analysed Amazing Pics, Artwolf and the SLR Lounge Twitter accounts. And by doing so, Twiangulate shows us the number of followers and the number of friends that each of these accounts has. So I've filled those in and I've hit the retrieve button, and this is the data that we have back. Amazing Pics, their 50 biggest followers have a combined reach of nearly 11 million. Artwolf's 50 biggest followers have a combined reach of 1.5 million. And SLR Lounge's 50 biggest followers have a combined reach of 4.7 million. Then there's some further data that breaks these figures down again, with things like Artwolf and SLR Lounge share two big followers who have nearly 90,000 followers. Some more data here that shows Amazing Pics has 66 big followers who have nearly 12 million followers. So that gives us an idea of what these people's reach actually is within the niche, and also confirms that these are definitely the people that we should be following and to be able to build a relationship with and to network with. As we go down into this table, in the second column it will show us the Twitter users who are following the people that we've just analysed. We can see Arianna Huffington, who's following Amazing Pics. She's the president and editor-in-chief of the Huffington Post media group. Now, although she's only following 1,700 people and she has 956,000 followers, because after reading her bio, we can see that she's not actually within the photography niche as her main niche. Her main use on Twitter is not actually about photography. We can see that we could skip that person. If we go down a little bit further, Creative Review is also following Amazing Pics. Their bio says magazine and blog featuring the best in visual culture, design, graphics, advertising, film and photography. They have 640,000 followers. They're following 14,500 people. And because you can see the follow button is missing just here, that means that I'm already following them. And Twiangulate knows this because I've linked my Twitter account with the Twiangulate service, which is why it's important to do that to start with. As we work our way down, we can see the other Twitter users that follow Amazing Pics, and we can see their bio and also their follower and friend figures. So what we want to be doing is coming down here, looking for a bio where it clearly states that the main focus of this Twitter user's account is within the photography niche. When we find a bio like that, we then need to check to make sure that they have a low number of friends and a high number of followers. When they meet all three of those, we can simply click the follow button and we'll then be following them, and from there we'll be able to use our Twitter account to interact with them, to break the ice, introduce ourselves and to form a relationship online with them. Now, I have already followed quite a few of the people that are targeted within the photography niche, which is why when it comes down to one that fits the bill, such as LA Times Photography, as you can see their bio says news, photography, journalism, etc. They're only following 140 people, but they have 226,000 followers. If I wasn't following them, a follow button would be here for me to use. I could click that and then I would start following them. As it is, I am already following that Twitter account. And we would just work our way down through this list, having a look at the bios, looking for the keyword photographer or photography to make sure that their primary focus on Twitter is actually in the photography niche. And by doing this, it actually allows us to miss out having to follow people who aren't actually going to be of any targeted use for us, and basically it's going to be no benefit to us to be following them. And as you can see, we have Petapix following Amazing Pics, and the follow button is missing because I'm already following them. So we'll scroll back up to the top and we'll have a look at one of the other features of Twiangulate, and this is mutual friends. Now from here we can now analyse these 3 Twitter accounts, and it's going to be fair to say that if these 3 Twitter accounts that we're currently researching, if they share the same friends lists, then anybody that's on that friends list is going to be a good candidate for us to also be following. Again, this is about us stepping inside the inner circle of these people. So I'm going to hit the retrieve button and see what that brings back. So once the results are in, we can have a look through them. It doesn't take long to look through these because the list is usually always quite small, because again, this is the mutual friends list of these 3 Twitter accounts. Although it's a small list, it is obviously going to be highly targeted towards the niche that we're in. We can see here that the Photo District News Twitter account is being followed by Amazing Pics and Art Wolf. There's no follow button here because that means I'm already following that account. These 2 are also following National Geographic. I've got a follow button here which tells me that I'm not following that person. If I want to follow National Geographic photos, all I need to do is click follow. And a quick check shows me that they've got 319 friends and 168,000 followers. I believe that they're targeted towards our niche, and I would benefit from having some exposure to the followers of the National Geo photos. So I just click the follow button and it tells me that I'm now following that account. As we come down, we can see Photo Jojo. That's also being followed by those 2 accounts, by Amazing Pics and Art Wolf. They have 852 followers. They're following 852 people and have 251,000 followers. Because there's no follow button there, that means I'm already following them. And Art Wolf and SLR Lounge are also following Petapixel. Again, there's no follow button there for me to click, so that tells me that I'm already following that person. Now you can keep going over this feature, the mutual friends feature, and comparing any 3 accounts on Twitter that you wish. And while it may be a manual way of doing things, it also provides incredibly targeted results, and it's these targeted results that make the difference of how we're using Twitter today. Long gone is the shotgun approach where we pull the trigger and just blast away, hoping that we hit something. Today it's all about laser focused, highly targeted usage of Twitter, and that's what makes the difference. The other feature in Twiangulate that I'm going to cover in this video is the mutual followers feature. As you can see, I've only compared 2 of the Twitter accounts when it comes to this feature, because I find that a lot of the time when you try and compare 3, the service tends to return an error or times out. So you're going to be better off just analysing 2 Twitter accounts at a time instead of 3. So now we're going to be having a look at the list of people who follow Amazing Pics and Art Wolf. And this list will have some good targeted Twitter followers who we will want to be following. So again, as normal, scroll down. We've got the option to follow the person, read the bio and see their following and followers figures. So all I'm going to be doing is scrolling down, looking for a bio that mentions photography, and make sure that the numbers add up. One that stands out is Photographer Monthly. As you can see, I'm already following them because there is no follow button for me to click. Their bio is the photographic community, galleries, camera equipment, reviews, tips, techniques and locations. They're following 1,700 people. They have 48,500 people following them. And again, just to point out that this list allows us to easily see who we don't want to be following. As you can see, we don't want to be following this one. It's nothing to do with photography, it's about SEO. There's an account there for weather and traffic in Seattle. As we come down, I'm already following this account, Lens Culture. Lens Culture is an online magazine celebrating current trends in international contemporary photography, art, media, etc. They're following 8,000 people, but they have 36,500 followers. Again, if we continue to scroll down, Photo Shelter, I'm already following them. Fine Art Photography, they fitted the bill. Come down to a Twitter account called Rick Salmon. He's a photographer, book author, iPhone and iPad, iTouch app author, Photoshop guy, etc. Due to the fact that he's a photographer first and foremost, and his pic has got him holding a quite a decent looking camera, and the fact that he is only following 760 people, but there's 21,000 following him back, I'm going to choose this account to follow. Think Tank Photo, they're already on my follow list. So you can come down and we'll have a look at this guy's bio. It's a Denver-based nature, wildlife and urban photographer. His bio meets the requirements, but when we have a look at the number of people that he's following and the number of people that are following him back, they're pretty much the same. And this says to me that this person might only be following people that are following him. And this basically says to me that this person, although he is in the photography niche, he isn't seen as an influential Twitter user within that niche. He's more of a follower rather than a leader. And within the total tweet formula, it is only the leaders that we want to be following. We don't want to be following all the other followers within our niche. We want to be standing up and over and above those. We want to be standing up on the stage with the niche leaders, the market leaders, the Twitter users who are influential. So for that reason, I'm not going to follow that user. The account underneath, Amateur Photographer, the best photography magazine in the world. Join us on Facebook. Okay, they have 18,000 followers. They're only following 3,700 back. So I'm going to choose that person to follow. And again, I would work my way through this list, and I would keep repeating this method until I'm following around about 100 people initially in my Twitter account, because those 100 people that I would be following, I know that they are targeted within the niche that I'm in, and they're also seen as influential and market leaders within that niche. So just following those 100 is all that I need to be doing. So follow through this method using Triangulate. Keep going through, filter through until you're following between 75 and 100 people, and then we can begin to move on to the next stage. And in the next stage is where we start using our Twitter account to get the attention and to start interacting with the people that we're following to make sure that we get exposed to their followers, and also we're going to get a number of those people, the influential people, following us back.